Next email comes from Danny. Don't know where he's from. Let's just assume it's England.
Sure. Yep. Okay.
Hey guys, Danny here. I'm a new listener, and your show rocks my socks.
Sweet. Whoa.
On a more serious note, we recently saw leaked scripts from Fallout 4. I missed that.
Yeah.
And it seems that the protagonist may be voiced. Many people are down on this, heralding from the schools of Zelda and Half-Life, where the main characters have a distinct lack of vocal cords. That's not true. Link makes all sorts of sounds.
That was good. Wow. That was really good. Bravo.
Others,
that was a good take on that.
Others, including myself, Danny, like the way that voice protagonists given a game substance. What do you guys think? Should Fallout be leaning in Mass Effect and Dragon Age's direction? Regards.
So the big argument for a long time against not having voiced characters has been, you know, it lets you be more immersed in, you're looking at the world through Link's eyes, and you can sort of just dissolve, you can dissolve into this world and just be in Hyrule. But the problem with that, or like, you know, Gordon Freeman or any of these other people, is you're already not yourself. Like, you are a character. Like, Link is a character that's not you. And so the higher and higher fidelity these games become, you know, gorgeous HD graphics and realistic worlds, and everyone else has, you know, this agency and a lot going on with them, but Link doesn't. Like, it just feels weirder and weirder the more time passes. And now it's become this, like, elephant in the room for, like, the Zelda franchise, or, you know, maybe even a lot of Bethesda games, I guess, to be fair, although I mainly think about it in the context of Zelda.
My God, it's so beautiful.
Right? I never get sick.
Oh, my God.
I never get sick of watching that trailer.
It's really, really
Yeah,
good.
it's really
And so I do think, yeah, I mean, I'm definitely in the camp of, if you're going to claim that this character isn't, you know, you are a character other than yourself, then yeah, I mean, in 2015 and beyond, you probably need to start having them talk and have some say in what's going on.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say that, like, it's an interesting comparison to bring up Zelda, because in Zelda, nobody talks. There's dialogue, but I mean, in terms of voice acting, there's nobody. But in Fallout,
everyone's voiced but you.
Yeah, everyone's voiced but you, so it's kind of different.
Well, and in Fallout,
like, isn't Liam Neeson literally your father?
In Fallout and the Elder Scrolls, you're presumably role-playing a character, so you could be more. I guess that's the distinction I was kind of trying to make before: is, are you conceivably yourself in this game, or are you some other person that has a name and, you know, and it has an identity? Like Link has an identity, you know, and Gordon Freeman has an identity. But in Fallout, you kind of get to choose your own identity.
Yeah,
so they have more of an excuse to not have, you know, voice acting in those games. But even so, you know, I'm playing Pillars of Eternity, and you can choose, like, they have, and other games do this, like Saints Row does this, you have multiple options for what you want your voice to sound like. Do you want to be the old lady, or the barbarian man, or the wizard man? And you kind of get to have these choices that fit in with, like, the character that you want to play. I totally think Fallout or, you know, Elder Scrolls could do something like that.
If no one in a video game ever talked again, I would be just fine with it. I am so tired of video game characters talking at me, to me, through me, with me.
So if Zelda Wii U comes out this year and there's still no voice acting in the game, that'd be fine with you?
Oh, that'd make me very happy.
I'm totally with Jared. I would love if that happened.
Me too. I don't particularly enjoy voice acting in video games, with a very few exceptions.
Nothing about that clip we just saw from Zelda makes me want to hear that guy you're jumping on go like, "Hey, stop it!" Like, it's just not necessary.
I guess I like it in.
I like the idea that that's what he's saying.
I like it in Fallout.
Don't stab me.
I like it in Fallout. I think it's generally, the voice acting is pretty good in Fallout. But like, I just finally finished Far Cry 4, and the random voice acting of just the soldiers is just so like.
It's bad.
I'm gonna make you pay.
Yeah.
Like, it's like that's what they sound like. And they're so dumb. It's like, you know, I snipe somebody and they're like, he's over there. Oh, call off the search. We're looking for ghosts. Like, what? You didn't even, like, you looked for me for like 5 seconds.
That's the difference between random enemy barks and, like, actual well-written characters that are rounded out.
I like it in Fallout.
Performance.
Yeah. Like, I want it to go away. Just put a little exclamation point over their heads when they detect me, and I'm fine. You know.
But it's good. Sure. I don't know. I wouldn't write off the entire thing just because Far Cry does it in kind of a ham-fisted way. Like, I actually thought the enemy barks in Tomb Raider were good. Because they changed over the course of the game. Like, they went from being like, oh, you know, this is no problem, we can take her out, you know, find her, get her, to like, by the end of the game, they're really, really terrified of Lara. They're like, it's her!
They're kind of treating it like Batman by the end of the game.
Yeah.
That's true.
And so, you know, But even the enemy barks, they always strike me as kind of an afterthought. Even
yeah, I don't know if all of it should be gone. I mean, that's an interesting point. It would be weird for me to say personally. I'm friends with a bunch of voice actors. So it'd be like, you guys don't have work anymore.
Yeah, no,
you're done. Jared replaced you with an exclamation mark.
Exactly. No, I mean, we'll subsidize them or something. Yeah. We'll become a progressive country. We'll subsidize voice actors, and we'll get rid of annoying dialogue.
So what do you do with a game like Uncharted?
What do I do with it? Yeah. I shut them up. I'm not kidding.
Nate, no!
I'm taking a ridiculous position here. I realize. Of course, I don't want all voice to disappear in videos, but I wouldn't, in my own little private universe where nobody ever bothers me, Nathan Drake wouldn't have a voice.
So when you play games, do you turn off?
Whenever possible, I turn it off. Whenever possible, I turn voice off.
I didn't even know you could do that.
I turn subs on and voice off whenever I can.
Oh,
what if it's a JRPG and you can turn on a Japanese voice track?
Always Japanese.
No, I mean, you turn it off?
No, well, usually they don't give you the choice. They just give you English or Japanese in that case. And I take Japanese because...
But I'm saying it's a game that you can play either English, Japanese, or turn it off.
Oh, still turn it off.
Oh, I would want to hear the Japanese. I like to hear the Japanese.
Yes. So desu ne.
But I don't think that every game should have voice acting. Some people feel that way, and they're like, "Come on, Nintendo, get with the times. Link needs to talk." Like, no, he doesn't. That's just a narrative decision they made. Like,
what voice would Link have if he did talk? Would he be like Jamie Kennedy?
Yeah, Justin did it already.
No, but I actually spoke.
The thing about Zelda is, again, like the games are becoming more and more realistic. The worlds are becoming more realistic. All the other characters have like interesting things to say, at least in the written word. And so it feels like the elephant in the room that Link doesn't and continues to not speak or have anything. He's not, no character. You don't know what his thoughts are on anything. Like,
no, you know what his thoughts are. He's got emotions.
You have to handle it really carefully, because I do want to say the counter argument is that Metroid did it very poorly and sort of ruined Samus in a lot of ways.
So it's like Other M.
Yeah.
I think it's always been
a little weird in Fusion.
I think it's always been implied, or sometimes been implied, that Link is talking. You just can't hear him. Like, people in the game are just like, so where are you heading? Oh, okay. Well, here's where you should go. And it's like, well, somehow they were able to translate that ... that he said.
That's what I mean. So like the twists that like Nintendo's going through, the contortions they're going through to avoid it, just are starting to feel weird.
Oh, I don't know if they're all contortions, though. I mean, you make a valid point. I agree that abstraction's a problem, but there's a lot of abstractions in video games you'd have to get rid of before I'm going to worry about voice. I mean, this, you were talking a couple of weeks ago on Scoop in Boston about you're playing through the game and then suddenly you're attacked by robots. It's this big, beautiful world, and then robots attack.
Yeah.
Video games are stupid. Yeah. Weird, nonsensical things happen in video games because they're fun. And I'm not
like that pinata guy that Link just fought.
I'm not too worried about the threshold of realism in that regard. I also think we've gone through this whole topic and not talked about the value of silent protagonists. When you think about somebody like Shell in Portal or Portal 2, when shutting up is a virtue, and makes a game better, and that happens sometimes.
Sure. Hopefully, we will find out in just a few months whether or not our protagonist is silent in Fallout 4.
Or Zelda.
Or Zelda, yeah.
I think we know the answer in that case.
Get off of me.
Stop it.
Stop it.
Blip, 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 blip.